There's a certain quiet that settles over a home at night. The usual sounds of life fade away, leaving only silence. You might be in your living room or lying in bed, but you feel a sense of isolation. The familiar spaces of your own home begin to feel different, almost alien, as if you're not truly alone. These are 3 stories from people who experience that feeling they still can't explain. Story 1. A man is home alone for the weekend. His family's out of town. The house is large and quiet. It's late on Friday night. He's in the living room watching a movie. The only light comes from the television screen. He hears a soft thud from upstairs. It's probably just the house settling. He ignores it and continues watching his movie. A few minutes later, he hears it again. It's a single, distinct thud. It sounds like it came from the master bedroom. He mutes the TV. The house is completely silent now. He listens, waiting for another sound. Nothing happens. He tells himself it was nothing, turns the volume back up. Later, he goes to the kitchen for a drink. The kitchen is dark. He flips on the light switch. On the counter, a single coffee mug is sitting by the sink. He doesn't remember leaving it there. Usually puts his dishes straight into the dishwasher. He picks it up. It's one of his wife's favorite mugs. He rinses it and places it in the dishwasher rack. He gets his drink and goes back to the living room. The movie is almost over. He finishes it and decides to head to bed. He walks up the stairs. The hallway is dark. A sliver of moonlight shines through a window. He passes the master bedroom. The door is slightly ajar. He always keeps it closed. He pushes the door open. The room is empty. Everything looks normal. He closes the door firmly, goes to the guest room where he's sleeping, gets into bed and turns off the light. The next morning, he wakes up. He goes downstairs to make coffee. He opens the dishwasher to grab a clean mug. His wife's favorite mug is gone. He checks the entire dishwasher. It's not there. He checks the drying rack. He checks the cabinets. The mug is nowhere to be found. He looks at the counter by the sink. The space is empty. He is the only person in the house. Story 2. A college student is house-sitting for her professor. It's a 2-story house in a quiet wooded suburb. She's there for a week. It's her 3rd night. She's studying at the dining room table. The house is silent except for the hum of the refrigerator. She hears a faint sound, like a soft, rhythmic tapping. 8. It seems to be coming from the floor above her. She stops reading and listens. Tap. Tap. Tap! It's slow and steady. She gets up from the table. She stands at the bottom of the staircase. The tapping continues. It sounds like it's coming from the guest bedroom, directly above the dining room, the room where she is supposed to be sleeping. She slowly walks up the stairs. Each step creaks under her weight. The tapping doesn't stop. She reaches the top of the stairs. The hallway is dark. The guest bedroom door is at the far end. The tapping seems louder up here. Tap, tap, tap. It's a very deliberate sound. She walks down the hallway. She stands in front of the guest bedroom door. It is closed. She puts her ear against the wood. The sound is clear now. It's coming from inside the room. She takes a deep breath. She turns the doorknob. She pushes the door open. The room is dark. The tapping stops. Complete silence. She reaches for the light switch on the wall. She flips it on. The room is empty. The bed is neatly made. The windows are closed and locked. There is nothing out of place. She steps into the room. She looks under the bed. She checks inside the closet. There is no one there. There is nothing that could have made the sound. She stands in the middle of the room, confused. She decides to sleep on the couch downstairs. She turns off the light and closes the door. She goes back down to the dining room. She sits back down at the table. She tries to focus on her book, but the silence of the house feels heavy. Then she hears it again. Tap, tap, from the guest bedroom upstairs. This time it's faster, more urgent. Tap dash tap dash tap dash tap dash tap dash tap dash tap. She freezes. The sound echoes through the quiet house. Doesn't stop. Story 3. A woman lives alone in a small apartment. It's on the 3rd floor of an old building. She's lived there for several years. One evening, she's reading in her living room. The lights are low. The city's sounds are muffled outside her window. She has a habit of glancing at her front door. It has a puffla. She can see the hallway light through it. She glances up from her book. She looks toward the door. The peephole is dark. That's strange. The hallway light is always on. It's a motion sensor light. She assumes the bulb must have burned out. She goes back to her book. But she feels a little uneasy. A few minutes pass. She glances at the door again. The peephole is still dark. She gets up from her chair. She walks quietly to the door. She stands a few feet away, just looking at it. She feels an intense sense of dread, a feeling that she should not look through the peephole. She doesn't know why. She backs away slowly. She returns to her chair. She picks up her book, but she can't read. Her eyes keep flicking to the door, to the small dark circle of the peephole. The apartment feels cold. She sits there for almost an hour, motionless, just watching the door. Then she sees it. The light in the peephole flickers on. The hallway is lit again. She feels a wave of relief. The light must have been faulty. It was nothing. She gets up and walks to the door. She feels foolish for being so scared. She leans in and looks through the peephole. The hallway is empty, bright and completely normal. She turns away from the door and sees a new pair of shoes on her doormat. They are men's work boots, covered in dirt. They were not there before. She lives alone. She never leaves shoes by the door. Her front door is still locked and chained from the inside. She is standing in her living room. The boots are 2 feet away from her. The night passes. Morning comes. Sun fills the empty rooms. The silence remains. The feeling of being watched lingers. Some questions have no answers. The house is just a house. The rooms are just rooms. But the memory of that night stays.